Well, hello there everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I thought I'd take us on a little informal evening stroll through the gardens just to see what's blooming now and what's budded up. I'm going to be going out of town for a few days, and you know the way things go in the garden. Sometimes you go away and you're never too sure what you'll come back to. So I wanted to go ahead and show you what's blooming now, and I hope it will be an enjoyable time together. So it looks as if Daddy just let Grace out. Rocky's doing just fine, everyone. Thank you so much for all your suggestions about the water fountains. We have 2 water fountains now. I'm actually going in there with a syringe to give him a bit more water, but he's still just relaxing and getting better. So let's go ahead and pretend you're a guest here at my house so you can kind of get the feel of what you would experience. Lots of fun things blooming over here in the driveway garden. The Colorado yarrow is still there. The drumstick allium are taking on this really nice muted purple at this point. And you can hopefully see I have some stargazer and Casablanca lilies there in the background. I'm sure that probably everyone watching this video watches Garden Answer. I'm not sure if you remember, but about 3 years ago, she did a bulb giveaway where she gave away, I think it was, well, I guess 100 lily bulbs. And can you guys believe I was the winner of those bulbs? So these Casablanca and Stargazer lilies are from her. So thank you so much, Garden Answer. Really great fragrance this year. I normally cut all these, but with us going out of town, they're blooming. So it's nice to kind of see what this garden looks and smells like for once without being cut. And then we have the Cleome here. And guys, I'll go ahead and do a full July garden tour for you real soon. This is more of just an informal walk around the garden. Sunflowers still blooming nicely. Here's some Denver Daisy Rudbeckia that came back from last year. Much taller and stronger than their first year in the ground. Next up, we have some Performa Gladiolas just starting to bloom. Really lovely purple color on those with a nice white throat. And down here, we have the real reason why I wanted to film this before I was leaving, just in case any kind of big storm came in. These are the double rose lilies. So you see we have Rose Lily Aditha, and guys, forgive me if I pronounce these wrong. It's my first year growing this varieties. And then we have Rose Lily Tatiana. And they just look absolutely phenomenal, smell phenomenal, and look phenomenal. Did I already say that? I added in a 9-bark over here in this garden, and I can't wait until it gets a little bit bigger in the years to come and starts to weep. Then I have my Microcosmia here. It doesn't have any spikes up yet, surprisingly, but it's the first year for this Microcosmia, and I've heard that it really takes them 2 years to get established. I'm growing some purple hyacinth beam up the birdhouse here from Good Directions. And I'm really excited. I'm going to be adding a bigger birdhouse to the back of the property to anchor a new bed that I'm building back there. Let's go ahead through this garden path so that you can see the Queen Lime with Blush that's blooming back here now. I am dealing already with a little bit of powdery mildew back here on these zinnias, but hopefully you can see what they look like. Here's kind of a green one. And then look at this imposter. And hopefully these gladiolas will start to be in bloom when I come back. I believe these are the Green Star. So I think that's pretty much how the driveway garden is looking here in mid-July. Why don't we go ahead back to the main flower walk, and I can show you some of the lilac pom-pom poppies that we sowed together in a video probably back, was it late March, early April? Let's go take a look. So here we are at the entrance to the garden. It's a beautiful clear night. Always humid here, but still beautiful. Just give me 1 second, let me let Grace in. So here we are at the main flower walk this evening. The limelight hydrangeas are starting to bud up. Even starting to see just a bit of bloom stalk there on my Mexican bush sage. And this is the seed dahlia that the hummingbird has been enjoying. So I've just been leaving these dahlias. I haven't been cutting them. These are all dahlias that I was growing from seed to see if any of them were real winners this year. This is another one that looks kind of like Cornell, but it's bigger and more open, I feel like. I have some Cornell I can show you. But mainly, let's walk down the main flower walk this evening. And hopefully Grace shows herself soon, so I don't get too worried here. So we've got the Black Knight Scabiosa still in bloom. I put in some coleus here. I had put in some salvia, but I wasn't really happy with how much green was going on here. And I think this coleus was called Vino. And then we have 2 hedges of lavender that will get bigger in time, of course. We have some Priscilla from previous years starting. That's this gladiola here. It's a nice kind of a vibrant light pink with a dark pink edging and a bit of a yellow center. Some white light sunflowers. The Vitex is blooming now. The birds are singing a wonderful song tonight, that's for sure. Here we have a beautiful lily called, I believe, Cortara. I'll put that on the screen. I might be getting that name wrong. I didn't check on my notes before I came out here. I wanted to make sure I filmed something before we left. But really beautiful, very big flower. Definitely an oriental. I can smell it from here. And then we have some more white lights as we go up. Here are some Rose Bonbon Cosmos. And then here we have the Lilac Pom-Pom Poppies. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So I'm so thankful I was able to see this bloom before I left, because you guys know how poppies go, especially this time of year. I probably would have missed them all together if this would be 4 days later. A few more to bloom here. I remember Grace had kind of trampled this area a bunch, so definitely not as many as I originally sowed, but that's okay. Here I have some lambada just starting. You can see that there. If I turn to the other side, mainly what we missed is some echinacea, some lamb's ear, and some nicotiana is blooming now. More Priscilla from years past. I think it's pretty much across the board. Books will tell you zone 7 and lower should dig their gladiolas. I've never dug mine here in 6B and they always come back. But definitely take that with a grain of salt. That's kind of against what most books or articles will tell you. Here we have Costa, which I've been really enjoying arranging with. And then the first thing I want to do when I get back, besides clean up whatever happens while I'm gone, is pick some of this Annabelle hydrangea for drying, because it's just looking absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? So as we continue to travel down here, we'll see some celosia. And I use Jewels of Opar a lot, and I'm not sure if I've ever showed you the plant. So the plant is kind of like this succulent lime color, and then here's its nice bloom stalk. Really adds some nice sparkle and air into arrangements. I put in an Incredible blush because I wanted to see the difference between a mature Incredible blush and Invincible Spirit 2. So we'll give her a few years and then we'll see the difference. We have a Grace, a younger Limelight that I just moved over to this area. I've harvested most of the Maperia, but I left a few here in the garden and they're all pretty much, well, they're going over at this point. And here's just a look at my grandma's garden. I'm not really going to go too deep into the raised beds because I'm kind of in between. A lot of things I pulled out this morning, but I really don't want to put in my seedlings and then leave right away. So nothing really looks phenomenal over here right now because it's going to be in transition by next week. But basically all the Lumiere and Espresso Glads have been harvested. I try to get a little bit of footage of those in other videos. I'm not sure what Grace is trying to get up to. She's really fascinated with the June bugs. I think she's not sure if she should eat them, fight them, or be afraid of them. She kind of has all the emotional responses going on when she sees one. Here we have always reliable Cornell Dahlia. I think I'm seeing some breakout starting to bloom. Let's see if we can get in here and get a look. There's one. I probably better come and do another layer of ties before I leave in here. But I'm seeing a lot of buds on this whole bed. And I think that this bed where I decided to, oh, there goes a mosquito, where I decided to sow the alyssum, I don't think that was a good idea actually. Maybe if you had a much larger bed, or if I would have seeded the alyssum more conservatively, it would be a good idea. But it makes hoeing impossible. I'm not sure why I didn't think of that. And I think it's really just competing too much with the dahlias in terms of water and nutrients, honestly. So I don't think I'll be doing that again. Maybe I'll put a pot of alyssum next to these beds. Maybe that would be a better way to go about it. We can take a look at the Hydrangea Garden. And I can also show you the shade garden I've been working on. Nothing too fancy over there, but I'm trying to make something of it in time. Hopefully this is helpful to see the color that Invincible Spirit is at this point. It's turning a nice green color. Let's give her a feel. She's somewhat papery, but I like to pick it a little bit drier. I want to wait for her to feel really, really nice and papery before I pick it for drying. Mini Mauvet seems to hold its color a little bit longer than Invincible Spirit 2, but that's kind of nice to have the difference there. So nothing too much new over here. Oh, I just realized we missed the straw flowers. I'm always missing something. So let me turn us around here and show you the start of this shade garden I'm working on that I'm calling Gracie's Garden. I want it to be mainly Microphylla and Serrata hydrangeas, hostas, lamium, and then just some hints of lime here and there. So a very, very informal garden. Really, I don't want to spend any money over here whatsoever, so only divisions from the property. You know, if I find some stones, some downed logs, anything like that, I stick them over here. And in time, I think it will be beautiful, but for now, it's basically just a work in progress. So I hope it kind of gives you at least a sense of where I'm going. I also stuck some gladiolas over here because I wanted to see how they would do with only a few hours of shade. So that'll be kind of an interesting experiment. But this is kind of where I ran out of plants. So hopefully we can fill that up a little bit more in the fall. Well guys, I think that's pretty much it for our evening walk around the garden. I hope it was enjoyable. I know it's a little bit different than maybe a full-on monthly garden tour, but I hope it helps because, you know, if I would wait till the end of July and only film one walk around the garden or one tour, I just feel like we would miss so many things. We would miss a lot of the lilies, miss a lot of color of gladiolas before I cut them. So hopefully more of some informal walks around the garden will be helpful in seeing everything I have going on around here. So guys, I want to wish you a great day. Now you won't be seeing this footage until I'm back home, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. And as always, I want to wish you a great day out there in your gardens. And from me and Gracie, happy gardening. Bye.